Christmas and New Year season. So I hope all of you have enjoying this particular month. So I'm very glad to announce and welcome all of you to season 4 of ESL NITK's podcast. And I'm your host Pratik. And what better way to kickstart season 4 than having our NITK's very own entrepreneur, Mr. Priyesh. So Priyesh, a very warm welcome to the podcast.
Hi,
Uh,
you
yeah,
hi guys, hi everyone. How's everything? It's great coming back to NITK again.
yeah. Oh, we're glad to have you back too. So, for those of you who don't know, Priyesh was a mechanical engineering student at NITK and he graduated with the 2021 batch. And what's more interesting is he was also a part of ESL and was head of finance too. And he later went on to find his startup SayF along with his co-founder Aman Singh. And Priyesh, if you could brief our audience about SayF, how would you describe it?
So, just to give you an idea on SayF, what SayF really does, right? So, one of the problems we saw was key spending is very easy in India. Right now, if you look at UPI, you just scan and pay 50 or 500%, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
On the other side, investing is easy. You have products like Zerodha, Upstock, small case. But the problem we saw was savings. Most people are not able to invest because they don't have savings. And UPI has made transactions easy. So everyone was playing around savings because they're not able to save. So we thought we wanted to help people save more money. So now what do we really do, right? So you pay through us at Swiggy, Zomato, Uber, Ola, Reliance, Max, Lifestyle. You get a cashback which gets invested. So
Oh.
now you keep paying, we keep investing for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a really good idea, please. And yeah, speaking of which, how was the ideation process when you began working on CF? Did you have a vision of it since before, or did you come up with it while you were looking for problems to solve or something like that?
So one of the strange experiences, right? Normally I discussed this idea with a friend back in second year, correct? If you know, what do you call the new library building? We were just coming back from,
Yeah.
we had exams, so we were just coming back. So I had change in my pocket. I used to lose them. So I told
Oh,
my friend, "Ki, how about if I could save this every time I spent?" Correct. And that's
oh
where we
yeah,
started. 2 years
nice.
down the line, I met Aman. I pitched it to Aman. Aman and I got together, and the idea was very simple. If you spend
Uh,
97, I'll take 3 more rupees from your account and invest it. But then we realized that 3 rupees, 5 rupees, how much you could save, right? 400 a month. So we wanted
yeah,
something more. We wanted something big. And we were, you keep checking markets abroad, what's happening abroad around this space. So there's a player
yep.
called. So what Accounts does is, you pay through Accounts, you get a cashback. Correct? It
Okay,
ranges from 1-2% to 25%, and that gets invested. So we thought we could do the same thing in India, right?
yeah,
And the goal going forward was very simple. You'll pay through us, you'll get a
mm,
cashback. For example, if you spend on Swiggy through us, you'll get a 10% cashback, 8%
yeah,
cashback from our side. That will get invested. Going forward, I'll
okay.
categorize it for you. So you have an idea of where all you're spending and how you could save more money. And that's
That's
what we
yeah.
went on building. Now we have about 300 plus brands. So yeah,
Wow,
happy.
that's really great to hear, and yeah, it's really inspiring how you came with the ideation process, just like walking there and realizing this could be done. So next thing I want to ask you is, how did you find Aman Singh? Like finding a co-founder for a business venture like this is very significant and crucial. So how did you go about like finding the perfect co-founder?
So I'll tell you about one experience, right? We raised our first round. It's not out in public, anyways, but we
Okay.
raised our first round. We built a team of 10 people. And
Mhm.
after that, we met in person.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so I'll tell you. So basically, I was selected to this competition, which is called Business to New York Conference. It's a fully paid trip to New York for 7 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that went online then virtual. So
Yeah.
we keep searching for people who can basically help you with more competitions. And I mean, like,
Uh,
I was the one guy in campus who people used to text कि भैया कोई competition है क्या नया वाला. And because I was too interested in case studies competition, and that's how Aman and I got together, because I saw in Aman's LinkedIn profile he had too many competitions
oh,
and he
okay.
had interns somewhere. And similarly, I was applying for deferred in MBA that time.
Uh,
So similarly,
so
he
yeah,
approached. So we
got
got
it, got it.
together, put on a call. We
Mm,
spoke for 3-4 times on call. Then he's like, so I had a startup before this. So he's like, Priyesh, what is this startup competitions? I'm like, you need a startup for that. He's like, we'll do a startup now. And the
oh,
second day we started, then we got selected to this IIT Bombay Eureka top
mm,
six. Then we were like selected for Global Student Entrepreneurs Award. Then we thought, ki idea mein dum tha, try kar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, here we are. Worked out so well. So, how did you go about your seed funding? Because again, funding is something every kid who is dreaming of finding a startup worries about.
Yes.
So, how do you go
So
about seed funding? Yeah.
yeah. So basically, what happened was Aman and I. This is a Chai with Titan event, right? So we approached Titan Capital through that. We wanted seed funding them. We were like pretty sure we want them. Correct. We
Uh,
didn't approach many investors.
yeah.
So they were mentoring us for about 3 months. We got through Chai with Titan. So actually, the scene was first time we approached them. We went with a deck and two kids who is in his like third year and second year. They're
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Please build something and come back. We'll talk."
Hmm.
So we went back 1.5 months, 2 months. I picked few kids from NITK itself. This
Uh,
Rohit, then this Sangamesh, who I remember. Correct.
yeah.
So we went to them, like we'll build the product. We got few integrations together. We built the product and we did like around 1.5 lakhs of asset under management in like 1.5, two
Okay.
months. Correct. So that was like basic. Then we approached and they were like, "Oh, you can build product now. How about we keep mentoring you?" So they mentored us for a while. The asset under management grew. We iterated our product about 4 5 times, and they were finally like, "We'll take you to IC." Basically, Kunal Bal and Rohit Bansal, and we
Oh,
pitched them. They liked it, and
whoa.
here we are.
That's wow. That's a really great story. Like how you came up with the resources you had like within the campus itself. So yeah. How do you think if anybody is trying to build a startup in campus itself, like how can they utilize the resources that they are available? Like how do you think NITK as a college itself, as a premier institute of the country, can facilitate a student's journey in being an entrepreneur?
It's really simple. See, so this is just to mention, right? This is my third startup. My
Okay.
second startup was around water, which is also government funded.
Oh,
Recently got funding from government. My first startup was nothing but Ola Uber for campus.
uh,
So correct. It was very simple. So
yeah.
what when I came back to campus, I realized that our campus has a problem with airport taxis. Correct.
Oh, yeah.
So the
That is
ready
very true.
guy charges 700 something.
Yeah.
So I thought there's a nearby village. There are many drivers out there, but no one is allowed to enter campus. So I went there. I
Hmm.
told them, sell me trips for 400 rupees. The market
Uh,
price is 700. So I
yeah.
paid him 40,000 rupees for 100 trips upfront.
Nice.
Correct.
Whoa.
And sold them in campus for 499. I made 100 bucks straight. Like
Whoa.
within 7 days, I made some 7,000, yeah, 5,000 something. So now, point being, it's more about just try it. At times it
Yeah.
works, at times it doesn't. So you keep changing and you keep moving.
Yeah. That is a really smart idea. I mean, looking at that particular problem, I'll be honest, I've suffered with that particular problem like myself a lot. So yeah, just finding that particular small issues and solving that, that's a really smart piece. Like that's very inspiring too. And
Right. So
yeah,
just to add, right? So when we thought things are moving smart, I was like, slowly they're just taking off. So every day I used to make 100 rupees, 200 rupees. Side income, kya jata?
yeah,
But then we
passive
realized,
income.
how about we expand it? है ना?
Yeah.
Let's improve the service. Then the COVID hit. Then I was like,
Oh,
chalo, theek hai, move on. We
yeah,
started with the second venture. Again, that got many awards. And so I will like, you just keep getting ideas. Try it. If it works, works. If it doesn't, we'll try
yeah,
something else. And especially, one regret I still have, right?
yeah.
If I could have started earlier. So even if
Oh,
I
okay.
started in fourth year, I wanted to start it in third year. The things I
Oh,
started in
okay.
third year, I wanted to start it in second year.
Hmm. I get it. I
So
get it.
college is the best time, trust me.
But yeah, speaking of that, like a lot of people say, like it's never too late and everything. Do you actually think, like if anybody's like planning to start their own startup, do you think it's that they need to work on it right now, or do you think they need to build upon something? They need to give it a lot of thought, a lot of time, and then start whatever idea they have. How do you recommend going by it?
So simple, right? Now, when you're in college, your parents are not gonna ask you, Priyesh, how much you are earning. Simple.
Yeah.
Your parents are not
Yeah.
gonna ask you, what's happening with other stuff, right? They care
Yeah.
about your mota mota. My parents are chill. It's a different story, but most parents are.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, your focus in college, other than grades, is all chill. You're part
Hmm.
of being part of clubs and all of that. Now that's
Yeah.
the right time to build, right? Now let's assume you're 3 years down the line in the job market and you're making some 2 3 lakhs rupees a month. Now it's again taking it back, starting from scratch.
Hmm.
Many people will humiliate you. Then your cousins will be like, "ये क्या कर रहा है भाई? कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है."
Yeah.
No point, right? मोटा
Yeah.
मोटा So the right time is when you're in college. First thing, I mean, like, because that gives you free time, right? You have free
Yeah.
time, chill around. They have friends. So example, now you want to build something for anyone. If you use that student card, so I'll tell you, right? So there's
Mm.
a product which people sell for 2 lakh rupees. It's a banking
Okay.
product. I got it for
Mm.
25,000. The reason being, I
Whoa.
told them, sir, student to kuch dekh lo.
Oh my
You
God.
get my
Okay.
point, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So you have that student card. Now talking
Mm.
about never too late, I don't know. I mean, like, not the right guy to ask because I've
Okay.
been very spontaneous. कि चलो ठीक है इच्छा हुई कर लेते हैं है ना.
Mm.
There's nothing like कि चलो discuss करेंगे, plan करेंगे, फिर करेंगे.
Oh,
Get
nice.
down first, then
Yeah.
decide कि चल रहा है तो कर लो. नहीं चल रहा है, if it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
you just
makes, yeah.
tell कि not worth it. It's more
Yeah,
about
fair
time and
enough.
effort. Yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah. So, like,
Mhm.
since you're more of a spontaneous guy, what do you think kept your motivation going? Because when COVID hit, it was very clear from what you told, like, you faced a lot of, like, lot of problems. So, how did you keep on going in spite of so many problems you faced? What was that motivating factor?
So, I mean, like, I come from a business family, right? So
Yeah.
it's more
Okay.
of what do you call? I just keep looking for something. I can't sit
Uh,
idle. That's in my what do you call habits. Everything I do,
mm-hmm.
it's more of ki I can't sit idle, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And most students can't. I mean, like, I've seen people in NITK, people do code, people do tryout stuff. So my way of trying was startups, correct?
Uh,
Connecting with people. And one more thing is networking. I'll tell you, I met people, correct?
mm,
When I met them, they were doing nothing. Now they're doing amazing things. So
uh,
the more people you meet, the more people. So I mean, like, I'll tell you, we go to meet. So there's one more senior from our college who we call, whenever we have a problem, we reach out to him. So
okay.
if you know Probo by any chance, they were in campus a while
Uh,
back.
oh, okay. I've heard of them. Yeah, I think most of people, like most of the viewers, would also have like heard of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing guy. So whenever you have a problem, so you have set of people who you go talk to, right? But mota mota, it's more like कि if you like it, you'll do it. It's more
Uh,
ऐसा नहीं है कि चलो मेरे को अच्छा लगा दूसरे दिन अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. It's more
mm-hmm.
like कि you want to do it, you'll do it. There's
Yeah.
no ifs and buts. You get my point?
Got it. Got it. The drive to do it, just do it and see how it
Yeah,
goes. I
just do
see.
it. It
Yeah.
works. So see, when you're in college, even if you fail, right?
Yeah.
No one's gonna question you कि fail क्यों हुआ.
Mm.
You'll
Yeah. That,
realize
that makes a
later
lot of
in
sense.
life कि
Yeah.
even though you fail, people will respect that failure. Trust me,
Mm.
people really respect that. It's better
Yeah.
than not. No.
Yeah. So there's no actually point like in being afraid of failing because
Yeah, yeah, people
that's
do
not
it, right?
actually that a big of a deal. So
Correct. Mm.
yeah. Got it.
Trust
Got
me,
it.
I've jumped 3 benches, right?
Mm.
First one went off, second one very slow. Matlab, it got slow because of COVID, that it
Mm.
involved government. I'm
Yeah.
like, कि अब रुक के, I'm like, I'm still part of it, but doesn't make
Mm-hmm.
sense my effort because COVID and everything has stuck, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I sit ideal, correct? I can't
Mm.
be job.
Makes sense.
So,
Makes sense. Yeah.
so just keep
So
moving, keep
yeah.
exploring, moving.
Like you told, you jumped 3 benches while you were still studying in college. On top of that, you were a mechanical engineering student, which is pretty well known for having a rigorous coursework. How did you manage all of that?
So you call, there's a trick called proxies and friends.
Ah. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I still have few friends who are in touch with me, right?
Yeah.
One of them stays with me. I'm like
Mm.
very glad to have him.
Yeah.
He helped me out. Again, grades, I'm not gonna mention it because
Yeah. Get it, get it, get it. I think people understand what you're
I
trying to say.
missed my
Yeah.
exams. Trust me. I mean, like,
Uh,
I was reading something, then I realized tomorrow is exam, so I started reading. I forgot it, so I
oh.
missed my exam. Then was a scene. But then
Uh,
it's all okay, man. मतलब, चलता है. If you
yeah.
want to, again, it comes back to the same thing, right? If you want to do it, you'll do it. If you don't
Yeah.
want to, you won't. So
Yeah. Everything works out at the end eventually if the motivation is
yeah,
there and if you work on it
I tell
properly.
you, right?
Yeah.
So in my first venture, in my first year, I think it was around November. November we have our exams, right? November end,
Yeah.
roughly. So I don't know shit. I mean, like, I don't study at all. Ask my
Mm.
friends, call up anyone, ask them, they'll tell you कि Priyesh तो पढ़ता ही नहीं था. I'm like, I'm a boy,
Mm.
just being very honest. So I was scheduling people's call. I'm like,
Mm.
the venture was called Taxi now. So
Okay.
I made an Excel sheet. I told them to fill a Google form. I scheduled it during exams because everyone was leaving home during exams, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
study for exams. I did this.
Wow.
Eventually, it worked out, right? So
See where
yeah.
the priorities are.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah, how? Okay, the other question I think which most of the people want you to ask is how do you think your journey in this startup entrepreneurial field and even CF is also a more finance based venture. How was you coming from tech background helping or affecting you in this particular journey?
So just to add, right,
Yeah,
I come from mechanical, right? You know it
yeah,
already. So I have to code. But I understand tech. I mean, like, mota
right.
mota, yes. Now,
Mm,
one of the being a tech product, well, you understand things in a different manner than a proper tech guy.
mm,
Correct. So
yeah.
it creates what do you call a disconnect, the way you perceive things. So I'll give you a classic example, right?
Okay.
When you understand tech, you think कि this will take 3 days. But I don't
Mm,
understand tech. I think of it as a logic.
uh,
Ki if a user comes, give him referral points. Correct. I think of it
yeah, yeah.
logic. It should be 1 day work. That's what I think. But when
Uh,
you put it into tech, it could take up to 2 3 days based on complexity.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
Makes
one of
sense.
the barriers, right?
Yeah.
But as you move, right, as you keep talking to people, as you onboard people, as you build a team, you'll understand everything. Now,
Mm,
the way you should talk to your team, the way you should, I mean, like, there have been instances where I've understood tech where I don't understand tech, right? There are tons of things
yeah,
which I don't still understand in tech. I mean, I would say I don't understand tech, correct?
yeah.
But
I understand.
still,
Yeah.
up to a level, I understand, yeah, how is it gonna work?
Mm.
है ना?
Got it,
Now,
got it, got
talking
it.
about
Yeah.
the journey, it's more about ki zero, then you understand, then again you
Mm.
feel zero, again you understand. So it keeps on
Yeah.
happening. Cycle.
Got it, got it. I think most people in college also, apart from few top people, are not that well versed in coding and how tech works basically.
I'll tell
So
you something, right?
yeah,
Uh, for building something, you don't need tech.
yeah, okay.
So again, I'll come back to the same thing, Taxi Now or the other startup, right? I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know to tech. So I built a very basic WordPress website
Okay.
for 3 days. And the fourth
Mm.
day I realized it doesn't work.
Oh.
I mean, like I put everything together, then I don't know what happened. It stopped
Yeah.
working. I'm like, fuck
Oh,
it. I do it using Excel. That works. And I
wow.
used to schedule, I mean, like I scheduled 300 people's, what do you call,
Taxi
schedule
rides. Yeah. Okay.
taxi rides in a span on an Excel sheet
Mm-hmm.
in 3 4 days during exams.
Wow. That during your exams to top it all off.
Yeah, and
Wow.
since that too.
Yeah.
So
And
a
since
point
wow.
being, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Mm.
Eventually,
So,
see again. Point being, eventually, if things work out right, you
yeah.
can build a team. You can get people on board who will
Mm.
do that job for you.
Yeah.
Correct.
Makes sense. Makes sense. It's just the initial phase where you go through it and give it all you can, and then when everything's running, you just have to make sure it runs smoothly.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the time is different. So for someone, it might be on day zero itself, and for someone, it might be on day 60. कि you'll
Uh,
realize कि this thing works है ना.
yeah.
So waiting till then is again more about persistence, right?
Patience. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about that. Like, how are you so patient? Like before that, two of your ventures you told it did not work out as you wanted it to be. You still kept patient. And like, if you want to tell somebody who's aspiring to be an entrepreneur right now, and maybe nothing's working out for that particular person, what do you want to tell them about patience? Like, uh, how
So
how should they go about it?
so the way I see it, right? So
Mm,
my first venture started. It was going to goal. I think I did it for like 6 months or 9 months. I was making $100 a day.
okay.
Then what happened was things started slowing down. I mean, like the COVID thing and started
Yeah.
hitting. Right, it was around second year when COVID hit, second or third
Mm,
year. Simultaneously the water startup started. Now one thing is at days they were like there was a month where I had no rides, correct?
oh. Yeah.
And there were days when I had like 15 rides a day,
Yeah.
correct? Same with the water startup. Water startup was more related to the government. Now overall
Uh,
point being कि now it's more about कि you keep trying, you keep trying, you keep trying. At times you won't enjoy it. You're like क्या बकवास है यार, क्यों कर रहा हूँ मैं?
yeah.
And at times it will be like ये तो मजा आ रहा है यार, इसी के लिए तो बना था मैं. You get my
Uh,
point, right? So
yeah,
now
it's a ride, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's like 0 100 0 100 0 100.
Yeah.
There's no between, there's no 20 80, there's 0 100 0 100 0 100.
Yeah, I get what you
Now
mean. Yeah.
for the times you need to be very like अच्छा ठीक है, ये भी पास हो
Mhm.
जाएगा, ये भी पास हो जाएगा. So
Yeah.
more of that. I'm like I talk to my dad
Mhm.
whenever I have a problem. So
Mhm.
I'm like whenever I have faced a problem or anything goes wrong,
Yeah.
correct? we have seen. So example, I'll give you an example. There was a month which we did hardly 2-3 lakhs of sale, correct?
Okay.
And there are months we have done about 2-3 CR of business,
Oh.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have majorly seen that spike also, right? And there's a
Yeah.
drop also at times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
just keep talking to someone. Ki this happened, this happened. Also talk to
Mm.
someone who can understand this problem better. And this
Yeah.
really works. Because, so example I told you, right? The bhaiya, the senior of ours, who,
Mm.
Provo, right?
Yeah.
So whenever we see a problem, we reach out to him. And he's like, Priyesh, yahi to hai. Enjoy this. They're like,
Yeah.
"Theek." So talk to someone, basically. That helps.
Yeah.
That really,
Have a
and
personal mentor kind of thing to motivate you, not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mentor is good, very good, but have
Mm.
someone who you can talk to and who can understand what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Because so generally, my parents come from a business background, but they're not that involved with startup funding, how startups work, and all of
Mm.
that. They don't understand cash burn. My dad understands, but on a core level, still people don't understand how it works, right?
Yeah.
Why are you
Makes
burning a
sense. Yeah.
cash? Yeah.
Yeah. There'll
So
be a lot of
having
questions. Yeah.
yeah. So you going and telling them, ki, I'm facing this problem, what to do? They'll ask you three more questions, which will put you in. So example, they'll ask you your burn rate.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it'll make things complicated for you. But someone who has gone through that and you asking, ki, I've done this, now I need your help. Please help
Mm.
me out.
Yeah.
That guy will tell you, ki, this is normal. Go easy.
Mm.
Just control these levers. And there's one more thing, right?
Yeah.
Control what you can control. Don't try to control what you can't control. Otherwise, we
Uh,
try to control everything in our space,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
ये भी
Yeah.
मैं control कर लूँगा, ये भी मैं ठीक कर लूँगा, ये भी मैं don't.
Makes
Just
sense.
control
Yeah.
what you can.
Yeah.
So that
Like,
will
like
automatically smoother things for you.
yeah, like the saying says, just play with the cards you're dealt and don't worry about the cards you don't
Yeah.
have. Yeah. That's a really good stuff you told, Priest. That was really inspiring. And also, talking about networking, you told you network, by going to different competitions and such. Was that the only way where you found networking? And also, like, tell us about the importance of having a really great network, like, and how to go about it, networking.
So the classic example, I'll tell you Aman, right? Aman is very good at networking. Trust me.
Uh,
Only the way he speaks, correct. Uh,
mm,
Now, what used to happen when you were like first year, second year, you have, so example, I was interested in finance, but
mm,
I heard that people in coding earn a lot more, correct? So I'm like, "Chalo,
yeah.
coding try kar lete hain." है ना? I
Mm,
sit for coding. My first year coding was fine. I was able to do pass through and all of that. But moreover, the problem is, you never understand what you really want.
yeah.
है ना? But when you start networking, right? So you'll meet people from finance, you'll meet from
Yeah.
people from banks, you'll meet entrepreneurs. You'll realize ki, oh, I like this guy, and
Mm,
you'll explore ki what he does. So now you know ki what direction you want to look at.
yeah.
Correct?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
Yep. Makes sense.
that generally happens.
Mm,
So the more people you meet, the more people you know, right? So
yeah.
example, I have
And
a problem,
mm,
correct? So I have a problem, I just text them up.
oh,
Correct.
nice.
I'll
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
if you go through my LinkedIn, right, there are like thousands of messages I've sent during my first to second year.
Okay.
I've spoken to people in JP Morgan, directors, something they are doing. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm interested. Would you help me? So that guy's
Wow.
like, okay, let's come on a call. Out of 1,000 people, hardly 50 reply. That's a different story.
Yeah.
Correct. Out of 30, 20 people come on a call and they'll be like, Priyesh, this is what you're doing wrong. And this is
Wow.
what.
Yeah.
So the more people you meet, the more people you talk to, right? You'll understand
Mm,
what they do, what interests
yeah.
you. You'll basically align yourself to that.
Yeah. Find a niche and learn a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that needed. Yeah. And also, uh, if you were to describe certain problems that you face just because you were a student, what would those problems be?
So I'll tell you the solution part of it also, right?
Okay.
Now there are what do you call? There's an advantage and there's a disadvantage, right?
Mm,
When you go as a student and talk to someone, they think this is a college project. है ना? बहुत बार होगा.
yeah.
Uh, but once you prove कि this is not a college project, this is what we are really doing,
Mm,
correct? Your value jumps up.
okay.
And now you can play that student card कि सर देखो कितने छोटे हमने इतना कुछ कर लिया आप सपोर्ट करते
Yeah.
तो हम कहाँ पहुंचेंगे
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that works beautifully, trust me.
Yeah.
So Aman plays that card, I play that card, correct,
Mm,
and that works, right? So
yeah.
I'll give you an example. most integrations we do, right?
Mm.
At times they don't give it without all legal documents. We didn't have a
Yeah.
company; they gave us all the APIs open access.
Wow.
So that has happened with us, correct?
Yeah.
So, Muda, I'm telling ki the disadvantage with the student is you need to prove you're not kidding now,
Yeah.
right? You're
You're
over
being
that
serious.
project,
Yeah.
wala, yeah.
Mm.
But once you prove it, ki I'm over that project, I'm seriously looking at this.
Mm.
People will help you out. Trust me.
Yeah.
Uh,
So basically
and
use that
also
as a
one more,
leverage.
yeah, that acts as a leverage. And at times you'll meet people who you don't want to interact with. If you got it, I don't know if you got it, but you'll meet people. It'll be an awkward conversation. It'll be just with you to
Yeah.
get a idea of
Yeah.
you. Correct?
Yeah. Got it.
Not
Got it.
idea, I would say more of a pie of you. Correct?
Uh,
Which doesn't
mhm.
really, but it makes things very complicated. Correct?
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't faced
So
it, but I've seen people face it. But mota point being ki as a student, you'll face both. So it's an advantage too and disadvantage too. So yep.
yeah, it's just how you go about it that defines who you are.
Yeah.
So what do you think in general the advice if you want to give to certain people who are like working on the startup, like general advice, anything, any key factor, any keynote that you faced from your experience that you want to tell to people?
So one simple advice, right? I mean, like, so Aman and I, right? What we really like about each other is we're shameless. Now, I think I see a problem. For example, we are
Yeah,
using XYZ payment gateway, right? And I see a
yeah,
problem, and my Spock is not able to resolve it fast. We don't think. We just check on LinkedIn, text tons of people. We are facing this problem. Resolve it.
okay.
So, example,
Nice.
just to give an idea. So, example, I need something, correct? Some XYZ product. You know,
Hmm.
now the founder might not reply me, of course, correct. But
Yeah,
what we do is we go to founder, co-founder, CEO, COO. We text everyone on LinkedIn, and someone will reply and help us out, and
yeah,
we'll get a special discount.
nice. Wow,
Second thing,
that's
second thing, well, be open to bargain, right? If the other guy quotes
yeah.
50,000 rupees, be like, भैया मेरे पास तो 5,000 ही है आप बताओ क्या करना
That's really great, like how you leverage some trivial resources that you have, like reaching out on LinkedIn to solve like an actual problem. That's really inspiring, I should say. And
so
yeah,
I mean,
that's very smart. Like the way you use the limited resources you have, and you build a company which is valued more than $1 million right now. So yeah, that's actually insane if you think about it. How you just did it in campus with all the like with utilize every basic resources you had, and
and
yeah,
being in college, you have that, right? I mean, like, so you
yeah,
have that leverage of there's a tons of resources around you.
yeah,
There's in this. So point being कि पूछने में शर्माना क्यों? He'll say no. He'll
yeah.
say प्रिय 50,000 नहीं होगा 20,000 हो जाएगा. Then you're like भैया मैं 7,000 तक मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. Then he'll come down to 15. You'll be like चलो 9 पे done करते हैं. I've done this tons of times,
Wow,
right? Yeah. Same
it's
with reaching out to
unbelievable.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, reaching out to people. Just reach out. I
mm.
mean, like, you feel ki Anubhav Mittal will be able to help you, just text him. If he replies, he
Uh,
replies. If he doesn't, who cares? He'll
yeah.
also not
It's
remember. You'll
nothing to
also not
lose. Yeah,
remember.
it's
Yeah.
literally nothing to lose. Yeah, it's
Yep.
unbelievable how you know how easy it seems to go about like looking at the resources that we already have. Just reach out to them, and there's nothing to lose kind of mentality.
Correct.
So yeah, so yeah, please, since we're like running out of time, can you brief us about what future plans you have with SayF?
So
Do you
right
plan
now,
on making? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So, audible. Yeah. So right now, just to give you an idea, right now we stand at we have about 300 brands. We want to pull it to
mm,
500 brands.
wow,
We are, I mean, like we are standing at about 50,000 users. We're doing about 2-3 CRs of transactions per month. We want to
yeah,
take it to 10 CR in the next 6 months.
whoa,
Take it to around 5 lakh users in the
yeah, I
coming
get it.
month.
Yeah,
So, yep. And
so.
talking about the product, we're looking at
Mm,
more. So the goal here, the goal we started with was very simple: a app which helps you save, invest, and optimize your
mm,
spending for a better future.
yeah,
Because there are not so many, expensify type apps,
yeah,
correct?
makes sense. Yeah.
Where you can organize your spends. So the
Mm,
goal is we'll basically you'll download our app. I'll tell you where all you spent on and how you can make it better. So that's the goal going forward.
yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, thanks a lot, Priyesh. And yeah, your future plans also seem very inspiring and motivating. So uh, we from ESL are very, very delighted to have you again. And it was really great seeing you again. And all the best for all the future ventures. And thanks a lot for inspiring a lot of us. I had a really great time talking to you too. So thanks a lot. Happy New
Thank
Year.
you.
Hope you have a great day, great year.
Yeah, talking
Yeah.
to you, coming back to campus. I'll be soon back
Yeah.
in campus, by the way.
Oh yeah, can't
Catch
wait.
up
Can't
again.
wait to meet you in person, Priyesh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine
Yep.
then. Thanks a lot. Yeah, bye. 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 So yeah, I've stopped the